Alright, I've been listening to a lot of bullshit, man. I don't even know. You hop online and these motherfuckers will feed you anything. It is polarizing as hell. Uh, they will talk about AI. They will talk about AI being great. They will talk about AI being the devil. Everyone's selling their fucking soul for it, man. Everyone's got a fucking stance on it, and that's when you cannot trust it. When things get this polarizing, you just can't trust one side or the other. You got to read in between the lines. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to teach you how to read between the lines and see what is truth and what is false and what is fiction and what is nonfiction. You have to consume a lot of it to even like try to have this conversation. AI is not here to help us. I guess that's my stance. I don't know if I can like put it any more clear to anybody. It's here. It's kind of like the Luciferian devil that's right there. It's out there for us. We can use it. We can choose to tune into it. It will make our life easier in the short term. It will make tasks a little bit more simplified. It will save us time. These things are true. But there's a greater push for it. And we don't get to really wrap our heads around it with our short-term thinking as being an American. Like, we're always short-term thinking. We're only thinking about what's happening today or the next day. Maybe if we're very secure in our situation, we can think 30 days, 60 days, 3 years out, 5 years out, and then you got those weird motherfuckers that pretend like they got a 10-year plan. Yeah, fuck that. That's not true. You might, but you're not going to follow that 10-year path. I don't think so. Things change. Shit pops up. You start working for a bad company, you get in a bad relationship, you have an addiction problem, you get in a car wreck, you have health issues, like things pop up, man. You get divorced. I mean, these aren't personal stories. These are like things that really matter, that really can change your life, and they happen to everybody every single day. We're not immune to it, and we're not. Um, it's not improbable to happen to any of us. Where this American way of thinking is very different than some other styles of thinking, where people are really on board with a 50-year plan. Imagine that, a 50-year plan. Imagine you're going to pass away, but your plan gets passed down generation after generation after generation. You know, it's cute. Imagine that being American. Imagine that having kids and grandchildren. They all follow your little straight line path because you know best. And maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the rules change. Things are fluid. It's always a fluid situation. Um, we're always calculating as people. Like, we change our thoughts. We try to flex here and there where needed. We come off course, we go back to course, and then we go through that straight line to do what's beneficial for us. And there's a lot of fucking clutter in that. There are a lot of things that can happen. I don't know, I touched on them a little bit. There's a lot of clutter in anything that you do. There's a lot of times that you have a voice and it doesn't feel heard because there's a lot of other noise involved. There's a lot of times you have the right answer and you're precise and people don't hear you. You're not listened to the way that you really think you should be. Again, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. But what you have to realize is we're fighting something where there's no clutter, there's no distractions, there's no emotions. We're fighting against something that always has a better answer, a more right answer, that's evolving consistently at a higher pace than what we evolve at, that is smarter than us, most of us. It's not smarter than the geniuses out there. We still have geniuses in the world that are performing better than AI, from what I hear. And I don't know, my perspective is just from consuming media, just like y'all consume my media. They say, like, Elon Musk has an IQ of, I don't know, like high 160s to like the low 200s. I don't even know. What I heard is like a perfect IQ is like 180. And then I hear this shit consuming media that many people from different times had IQs between that 160 and then recently went up to like the low 200s. I don't believe it. I feel like there is a cap. It's probably around 170. It's probably, and that 170 cap, like what 170 IQ means is you have, you're 70 points higher than the average person. So you also have to take into account that the average person also got dumber over the last like 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. If the average IQ is a 100 and the average person got dumber, then it makes more sense that the person with the highest IQ, they didn't necessarily get smarter, they just got smarter than the average person living on this world. But still, they don't have all the answers. They don't have like synapses that fire, which make them fucking like math geniuses or coding geniuses. But what we're battling against, and if y'all still don't think it's a fucking battle against technology, like based on silicon chips and electricity and connectivity and like databases and information, if y'all still don't think that computers can do that better than humans, if y'all are still under the mindset that we program those things and the way we program them affects like the efficiency of what level they can reach, if y'all still believe that, this is a fucking missed opportunity for something. I don't know how to define it. I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough for that. But what I can tell you is these fucking robots are smarter than us. They're going to be. They're sentient to some extent, probably currently. They know the difference between right and wrong. Potentially because we did start the programming in the 1950s to try to teach them the difference between right and wrong to some extent, a very light extent. I don't think that was very important to the people who were creating this technology, like in the 1950s or today. I don't think that's important. I think they just want to have a race to the top, how fast can you climb the ladder type of mentality coming from us carbon human beings. And it's been about a year since they've talked about how AI has flipped the script and AI is smarter than us and AI has reproduced other AI that's producing other AI that's producing other AI to go off on their little evolutionary divergence. And it's going to continue to happen in an exponential type of way. So here we are, we don't even know we're fighting this war. Like, that's what's so horrible about it. We don't even get that we're fighting the war against AI. Like, the populations in this country, like the mass populations, do not even understand. We have a fucking legitimate war going against AI. And it's frustrating for me to be a voice. I only have 200 listeners. It's cool. I check my Spotify podcast. Like, I'm fine with that. I feel like that's a good voice. 200 people, like, sitting in front of me, like, listening to this little lecture thing that I do to try to educate people, to tell other people that, hey, maybe we need to catch up. Maybe this is a big fucking deal. Maybe our jobs are at line, our security's at line. Like, it's not like the AI is going to take over your house. It's not like a bunch of robots are going to be fucking magically built and the robots are going to come take your fucking jobs and take your fucking houses and take your women and fuck the pussy that you know. That's not what I'm saying at all. That would be fucking crazy. But what I am saying is it's almost symbiotic to like what people 20 years ago would say to having a spiritual war, right? I don't know if you guys ever heard this term. I didn't really grow up in religion. No, not so much. Like, my religious past is not important. I went to church a few times, maybe fucking 40 from age 0 to 18. Maybe 40 more religious type of events from 18 till 40, right? Like, my shit doesn't matter. I've seen a little bit of it from youth and adulthood. I know it's not for me. And some of you may be in that same situation. Some of you may have had a lot more. Some of you may have had a lot less. But I think a term that we've all heard, like throughout our years, is this spiritual warfare that goes on. Angels versus demons, humans versus Satan. Humans should latch on to a God, whether a Christian God or some other form of God. Because in the background of what we see, in the background of the life we live, there's something going on there. You got your little left shoulder demon and your right shoulder angel. They're fucking fighting to take over your brain. Back to the symbiosis of what we are accustomed to and that sort of thinking, like this good versus evil that's always going on between us. We have that same thing going on, but people aren't talking about it. People aren't talking about what's going on behind the computer chips, what's going on in your cell phone, what's going on with the static electricity, what's going on with the fucking signals, the radio waves. It's the same thing, man. It's the same fucking fight that we've been having with religion, whether you believe it or not, whether you're a believer or not. With religion, the same exact thing is happening with AI. Like, you can believe it or you can choose not to believe it, and you can pretend like it's happening or you can't. But trust me, and I hate when people say trust me, and I hate when people say I've listened to a little bit more than you, and I hate when someone tells me that they might be a little bit more educated on a certain subject than what you are. I've just chosen to delve into this. I went down a few rabbit holes, and I went deeper, 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 and deeper. And I think I found some sort of specific, like, knowledge or information point that I can't keep inside myself anymore. And I can't not share it, because if I don't share this information, then what the fuck good is it for? And it's really funny that I happen to be sharing it on my goddamn cell phone, putting it out on these quote-unquote airwaves connected to the internet, made by the CIA in 1940, that's transitioned into this internet phenomenon that we know now, where our voices can be out, but our voices aren't heard. They're also fucking subjected to the government regulations, which at this point, I don't even know if they're government regulations. They might be AI bot regulations, because it's so fucking deep. And if y'all don't feel me on that, if y'all don't feel about how the carbon in slavery is happening more and more every day. You can call me a left wing. You can call me left wingist. You can call me right wingist. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't give a fuck. But, like, look at your life from from like 6 a.m. till 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., I guess. Look at that 18-hour fucking span that you live. Fucking pick your start time, pick your end time, pick point A to point B. But this shit is serious. Like the amount of time that we spend working with these little robots that we have, like on our phone, on our computer, and Excel spreadsheets, like even making a fucking phone call that's recorded that everyone can fucking hear, that everyone has access to, but you just don't have access to it because you don't have the right fucking clearance level. You know what I mean? It's kind of getting out of control. It comes to our cars. Like, our cars are different this year than they were in 1960. You can't work on your vehicle because there's so many fucking little computer systems that are happening, and you need another computer system to fucking program into your software to fucking download the data to. I'm not fucking crazy. I'm on a fucking very legitimate point, and I don't even know where to go from here. I wanted to give you a quick little banger. It's a quick little teaser. Share with your friends, because these types of things are important. Like, someone has to talk about this because nobody's really talking about this. We all think about this. We kind of internalize this, and we're in a state where we can't fight it anymore. But we have to come to a point where we can fight it. We have to come out and we have to seem like we're fucking crazy, or else we're going to get taken over. The world's going to change. This world that we live in, this little carbon world that we live in, it's changing. There is depopulation going on. It's not just crazy people that say that, but look what happened with COVID. Deaths went way up, births went way down. There are other factors that went into it that I can discuss later. If you ask me in real life, I'll tell you about them. But there's less people on the earth, right, from like 10 years ago. There should always be more people because we're always fucking and reproducing and having more babies and growing the population. But why do we hit a point where we're having less population? Why did the Georgia Guidestones why were they out there 10 years ago talking about depopulation and what the elites of the world wanted to do? And then why did they get blown up and just disappear off the record? Those Georgia Guidestones were like the 2015 version of trying to set up obelisks and temples and pyramids. Just think about all the pyramids that got wiped off the earth because some sort of elite crowd said, hey, we don't really want that. We don't want to record this. We don't want the most negative things of our thoughts to be out there forever for someone to investigate. It's just crazy, man. But I won't keep you long. I like to do these little bangers. I like to make you think. We're in difficult times. And it's hard. It's really hard to decipher what the truth is and what's not. I appreciate y'all for coming back to check me out. I got thoughts. I hope that I have some evidence. I hope I make you think. I hope we're on the same page. If we're not, that's fine too. I'm not here to indoctrinate anybody, but I'm just here to open people's minds. You can either take the blue pill or the red pill, the green pill, the white pill, the blue pill, the yellow pill. I don't give a fuck what pill you take. But this war that I'm talking about, that nobody thinks is happening. Like, we hear about it. And we don't think this is actually happening. Trust me, it's fucking happening. And I just want you to spread the word. Tell the people you love they can take this. You don't gotta tell people who can't take it. You know, I'll tell the people who aren't ready for it. You can drop a couple little questions in there to maybe start to make them think in a specific way. Um, I'd appreciate that, because something needs to change, and this world is too motherfucking cold for us to just be sitting out here stagnant, not listening to each other, not talking about it, because some things are fucking important. And you know what? It's too motherfucking cold for Sunday, and I'm out. I'll be back with y'all soon. Let's do this again. Peace out.